Hey, it's Dr. Richard McLEAN, and I've been treated unfairly in this country, and I'm being victimised and persecuted by the government. I've just found out my ABN's been cancelled, my licence has been cancelled, I have no equality before the law, no access to it. The Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet refuses my freedom of information, I'm banned at AFCA, and I have failed not one but two work cover cases. One was at Comcare. They've now banned me from calling them. It went to the AAT, and they're delaying, denying, deferring my payment. It's been 2.5 years since I got sick from work. In addition, my HCF income assist hasn't paid. That's part of the movement of oppression, of consciously, maliciously, and deliberately reducing my prosperity in order to destroy me. I've been psychometrically profiled at the legal bar, and a very powerful lawyer, Russell Ball, has silenced my evidence of a malpractice case, and he informs government policy and the Ombudsman. It was silenced at the Health Complaints Commissioner, the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner, the Police, IBAC, NHPOPC, APRA, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman, where of course he informs government policy. In addition to that, my former partner, Steve Isonides, was an ASIO agent. He's a killer. He worked under David Irvine, and David Irvine was the head of the Australian Secret Intelligence Organisation. He owes me a fair, equal legal settlement of our 5 years together in which he exploited me, but the government are protecting his money and prosperity and reputation in favour of throwing me under the bus and vilifying me for mental illness. I've done a doctorate in what's mad and what's not, and there's a quote by Nietzsche, I think, that says, madness in individuals is extremely rare, but in society it's the norm. What's happening to me is gang stalking. It's really difficult living a life where you have someone meaning you harm, and they're stalking you and threatening you and causing you detriment. When that extends to a systemic and political arena, your life is hell, and my life is hell. I have no money, I've been rendered homeless, and this oppression has been so long and systemic and across every aspect of my life that I committed suicide in February 2021, which was deemed a fatal injury and a lethal attempt, and I was revived from certain death. And now there's another cover-up about the liability that the hospital owed me a duty of care at all the following places: the Health Complaints Commissioner, the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner, NDIS, the Police, IBAC, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman. No one cares that harm has come to me, and it really feels shit that so many people do mean you harm, and even my family and friends won't intervene. So I can't get a lawyer, I can't go to police to report my former partner threatening to kill me and my dog and other injustices. And I am a failed whistleblower at the NDIS, at the Federal Court, at the Health Department, and at the Attorney General's Department of Mark Dreyfus, who refuses to acknowledge me, any of my emails or calls. In addition to that, as well as being banned from AFCA, I lost $1.5 million in a totally not impartial decision by Liz Lindbergh at the Australian Human Rights Commission, of where I'm now banned from contacting them. And that is just an example of what's happening under the Attorney General's portfolio at Comcare and at the Australian Human Rights Commission, and also at AFCA. It's within his remit to intervene in a political way, but he is part of the problem. I just wish to say this has gone right to the top, and the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet has been contacted for my freedom of information, and they just flat out refuse it after first acknowledging that there were over 1,500 matches. I'm a human being, and I deserve some equality before the law and access before the law, as the Charter of Human Rights of a person with a disability actually states. And I deserve not to be tortured. I deserve not to be experimented on, I deserve not to be discriminated against, and I deserve not to be taken advantage of. All of those things are happening for me, and this oppression and victimisation and gang stalking, which it is, has led me to desperate times and even suicide, and then survived and then been rejected after that. I've been catastrophically character assassinated. I know what I am. I'm a good person, and I just want to exist in the community so I can help people again on the NDIS with their mental health concerns. But as well as that, I did have a business like that. I was an allied health professional for 2 years, and my business was destroyed after a rejected sexual abuse complaint to VOCAT, in which I was the victim, and the Geelong magistrate threw it out, and she said I was, quote, doomed to fail. That impacted me because I was being affected by one of my clients' sexual abuse stories of incest and rape, and that really affected me, and it was triggering for me to go to work. And then when I realised that I'd been framed, at least by a magistrate, then it removed the legitimacy of my very important work, which I'd been doing with him for a year and a half. And I realised that it was pointless to do anything. It was very stressful. And when you're the victim of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice like I am, it is very stressful. And that's how society vilifies me, such as the mental health arena. I know exactly what's happening for me, and no one's willing to cross the floor. If anyone's out there listening to this, can you please help me? I'm literally owed over $1 million. I have not a cent. I barely have food. I can't afford rent. They're destroying me, and they have destroyed me, and they've done it politically, they've done it systemically, and there is a broad cast of thousands which opposes me and opposes my justice, opposes my legal rights, opposes my human rights, and actually acts in a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice that actually maliciously means me harm. And I'm asking, again, my friends and family and everyone who knows me and could acknowledge that I've actually worked for 30 years in this country as an advocate for mental health recovery and people suffering mental illness and people and their carers, that my heart's in the right space. I'm not the bad guy. If you want to look at the bad guy, look at the politicians, look at the bureaucrats, and look at this movement of oppression that's underpinned by key, powerful political kingpins. My name's Richard McLEAN. I've got another name, alias Barran, and I'm opposing my victimisation and my cruel treatment. I'm opposing this cover-up about my tragic suicide attempt, and I'm opposing the reduction of my HCF income assist, my settlement with my former partner, my work cover, my insurances for my business, and my business was maliciously destroyed by Micron 21, who is a company who is associated with the federal government, and then it was covered up at business.gov.au and the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman, and also the Small Business and Family Enterprise Ombudsman. I'm a human being, and I want to work again in this country, and I want to put things right. And I've already sent an email saying I will donate. I'm owed a lot of money, and money's never been what I want, and I've always survived on very little of it. But when it's intentionally and maliciously reducted from you, and you have nothing, I have to make a stand. The law has been broken many times, and it's been broken by many people, and I've got the evidence. Will you please listen to my story and have some compassion? My payID is 0400 639 248, and I'm happy for you to invest in my justice so I can at least eat and have some human rights and some dignity, and also that I will pay you back that money when my detriments come in, because it can't be like this forever. But they will try and kill me before my money's paid. So I'm really reaching out today to try and get some help. It's Richard McLEAN, alias Barran Dodger. I mean the best, and I just want to be in the community where I can live to give again. that's what I've always done until something happened, and that was people started to owe me money. People started to owe me money, and they were in powerful political positions of enormous influence. And this is the effect that it's had on me. I'm at great risk, I'm at danger, and I have death threats on my life. Can someone please report this to police or intervene by going to my website below? And once again, my payID is 0400639248, and I please ask you to share this video, because it's not okay that a doctor of philosophy, an ethical person in this country, be treated with such heinous neglect and profound victimisation. It's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and I'm asking my friends to intervene. And lastly, I keep getting incarcerated in mental hospitals in Werribee Mercy and other places because they've vilified me for mental illness, just like the Herald Sun did when my book came out, Recovered Not Cured of Journey Through Schizophrenia, and The Age fired me. I've been literally publicly humiliated. I really am fearful that I'm infamous now, and I'm asking for your help. It's not okay that I be treated like this. I'm just here with my dog Crystal, and that's all I've got left in the world. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me.